Hey, everybody. It's not as fun as Seth. Hey,
so
welcome to Christian Men
boring.
Unscripted. I am Alan Underwood. I'm here with John Harney and this other guy, Seth Lazon. Hey, welcome back. And we would like to shout out to John's wife. Today is her 50th birthday. Oh, shouldn't have said her age. Her 30th birthday.
30th, 35.
Why don't you restart it, but like say with like more like joy?
Hey,
I
happy
want
birthday.
to shout out to.
Happy birthday. Dude, it's my wife's birthday. It's July 22nd. It's my wife's birthday,
What?
man. Happy
That's
birthday,
incredible.
lady.
See,
Yeah.
there's like here. Let's try again. Happy birthday, Amy is gonna be some sort of certain age. I cannot believe that John
Amy.
Yeah, but Alan's like, hello.
Dude,
I hope you have.
I can't change who I am, Seth. That's just
he's just
who I
not
am.
that excited. How am I even? I always joke. I'm like, how am I married? How am I married to a lady that's as old as
50
my
years
grandma
old.
was? You know what I mean? My grandma was that old at one point.
Yeah.
Oh my
By the way,
God.
That's true.
That's terrible.
I don't deserve my wife. I know I don't. Like, she's a smoke show. She's beautiful, and she's nice, and she's funny. So, but she obviously, there's that pretty to crazy scale. You ever seen that before?
I don't know. Maybe we should just stop talking now.
So
Well,
it's-
she's clearly crazy because she stayed with me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? For
yeah.
over 30 years.
So
We're past 30 years now.
her. That's her
crazy
craziness.
side
Is just
that
I
she's-
get to stay
something's
with this
wrong
guy.
with her. Clearly, something's wrong with her. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead, Alan. Keep going.
Well, I don't know. I don't have anything else. We were
That's
talking
it.
about-
Welcome. It was a fun episode, everybody. Be blessed. Have a
Yeah,
wonderful
happy
week.
birthday, Amy. Enjoy.
Yeah, this is great.
Everybody's invited to John's house tonight for a swim party for his birthday.
swim party at my house tonight.
Is this a surprise party?
You know, whatever.
Well, if it is, the surprise is over. I think she listens to our episodes Tuesday morning when they come out. Babe,
Well-
we're having a party at our house.
Well, you know what's funny is that I'm gonna come if I listen to this August 1st, August 8th. I'm coming to your house. I don't.
Yeah,
say
that night. It doesn't
that
matter, right?
night, Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
You know
we're-
what? Birthdays. Let's talk about it. We don't. Last week we talked about some tragic and sad stuff, which happens in life, and we probably might bring that up a little bit. Birthdays are fun though. It's like I don't care about my own birthday, but at the same time, it's interesting. It's like the day you came into this world. Let's celebrate that. We're allowed to celebrate things.
Yeah, I'm kind of different. I pretend like I don't care, and I'm like, no, I don't want nothing. Don't do nothing for me. And then they're like, okay. And then I'm like, what the heck? You guys didn't do nothing. It's my birthday.
That's
I'm
funny.
guilty of that too sometimes. Too.
Yeah.
How do you guys do birthdays in your house, Seth?
Yeah. Well, we do things. You know.
Oh God. Okay, what about you,
so-
Alan? Clearly,
no.
they're just like
No,
it's only about just the four
We-
H's:
for my-
happy, healthy.
For my birthday,
Hope,
we don't do
healing.
a lot, which is weird. You know, I'm that guy who's like, no, don't worry about it. My wife's birthday is January 1st, so we always like have family over for birthday January 1st. My daughter made me take her to Magic Mountain a couple weeks ago for her birthday, and my son, I don't even know when his birthday is, so
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. We don't do
Yeah.
much for him either. We'll have family over dinner or something. So the two
Yeah.
guys, nothing. 2 women. So party time, celebrate.
Yeah. Well, my
That's kinda how that goes.
my wife, loves her. I mean, I never liked my birthday.
Yeah.
It was in high school
We
growing
don't
up.
like it either. I'm just kidding.
I'm Job. I curse the day I was born. But with my school in Michigan, it would start in September.
Okay.
But we'd always have our orientation like on my birthday every year. And so I'd be like there, and I'd be like, it's my birthday, and they're like, oh wait, what? Like no one cared because they didn't want to be there. It's orientation. No one wants it, and so no one. Then September comes along, everyone's got September birthdays. They're all like, yeah, here's cupcakes and everything. And I was always jealous of people who had birthdays during school year, so that people actually knew and cared about it. My friends did, but it was like, I felt jealous of that. So I never
you
really
had a little
liked.
bit
And
of
then
PTSD from that. Like,
yeah, and so every at the end, it's every school year comes around, like in ministry or the youth ministry, it's like, oh, we had a kickoff for this youth group in September, and so you got to plan, and so it's always like a busy time of planning, and it's always been that for me. So it's not like a fun, relaxing time.
I got a funny story for my birthday. So my birthday is January 29th. Every year it's the same.
yeah. Okay. That's how that works.
Yeah,
Okay.
never changes. So we joined the academy. January 25th was our first week of the academy orientation week, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So my birthday fell on the 29th. On the 28th, we went to dinner.
You fell on the
29th? No, the 29th was our first day of the academy first inspection.
Ooh, terrible day.
So everybody my family took me out to Binion's Steakhouse. I'll never forget because they're like, happy birthday, enjoy. And I was like, I stick to my stomach because I'm like, tomorrow's going to suck.
Exactly, dude.
It's the
You
first
can't
day.
eat and enjoy.
It's a real first day of the police
That's funny.
academy, and I was like stressed. That's the only birthday I really remember doing anything.
That's so
Yeah.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's too funny. That's the worst. I did not know that.
So I always remember our first inspection in the police academy, January 29th of 99.
Yeah, January 1999. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
You
I think
weren't
I was
born.
No, I was born 92, but I was
Okay, 7.
You're a little kid, yeah. And there we
Yeah.
were on Alan's birthday, just hours, dude. First inspection was like 3 or 4 hours long. Guys were passing out, throwing up, getting yelled at.
I
I
did
think they're
really
much
good.
nicer now, though.
I
don't
did
think they do
really
that.
good on that first inspection because he would tell me to run and I would just jog until they looked and I'd pick up the pace. And then I didn't
the
even get back
tricks.
in line. I didn't
Yeah.
even get back in line until they yelled at me. Like 2 laps. I'm like, I did like 30 laps.
Okay. my future son-in-law, my daughter's fiance, is in the police academy in Sacramento, and he's only been in it now a few weeks, right? And it just cracks me up because you're exactly right. My daughter's like, oh, he got a gig or he got this or he got that, right? You know,
Yeah.
they get in trouble, you get yelled at. And so, Seth, you can picture this in maybe in athletics, like how in the baseball coach is like, take a lap, right? And they yell at you.
Yeah.
So in the police academy, they were called grinders, and you'd get like a gig or whatever. They're yelling at you during inspection. You can't do anything right. It's all intentional, and
Yeah,
it's good, right, to increase the stress. What you're saying makes me laugh so bad, though, because we all did it. They're like,
Everybody.
when you had to take a grinder, which is taking a lap, while everybody's getting there just yelled at, and they're just hitting you in the face with their bill of their
Spitting
hat
on you.
and just ripping you apart and pulling your gun
Pre-COVID,
out
by the
and
way.
all this stuff. While they're doing that, if you are blessed when they tell you to take a lap, to take a grinder, as opposed to like front leaning rest
Yeah,
or
some push-ups.
write a essay, because all of those were given out. But if they're like, go and run 5 grinders, well, dude, nobody's counting. You're smart enough to know nobody's counting.
Nope.
And
Yeah.
as you jog, you get to get out of their sight for like about half the run
backside.
because you're running behind the building. So about half the run, there's all these guys. You're like, bro, you've been running a really long time. Man, there's no way they assigned you like 12 grinders. But you're like, bro, this inspection's going on for 3 hours. That dude told me 5 grinders. He ain't timing me. He has no idea where I'm at. I'm just going to keep on jogging as slow as I can. And when I'm in front of him, I'm going to make it look like I'm dying. And when I'm behind the building, I'm going to catch my breath. And 2 hours later, you're like, oh, I'm just on a casual.
So you know how we had to have a notepad in our pocket?
Yeah.
So I don't know where this came from, but I bought notepads at the store, the little ones
Yep.
for notes. And I remember the TAC officer took it out and he opened it up. There's supposed to be none in it. And inside my notepad was, I love you.
Oh, crap.
Oh my God. I was like, where?
Your
And
sweet
I don't-
wife, maybe?
No, I don't think she wrote it. I think I just bought it and it was in there.
That is so
and I
funny.
didn't look at it. And maybe she did. I never asked her. I'm gonna have to ask her. Let's get her up here. But yeah, and he's like, "You love me," and he's go, "Take a grinder." I'm like, "Sweet, see you tomorrow."
Yeah, dude, so stupid, bro. Good memories. My future son-in-law, he's like, obviously he's stressed. My daughter's stressed because it's a stressful environment. But I did share with him. I was like, you'll look back and like we are right now, you will have fond memories of this stuff. I know it sounds crazy. Nobody likes to get yelled at and you're beat up a lot and a lot of coursework. But you look back and it's just good memories, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Being a class sergeant was like the first week.
worst, dude. Ugh.
Because in orientation they figured it out. And you remember who it was for us? You have to.
Well, it turned out to be Matt Marlowe,
Yeah,
didn't it?
because he goes to your
Yeah.
church, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because of what he said. I don't remember what he said. They're like, "Why do you want to be a police officer?" And he's like, "I don't remember what he said."
He
but it's
said something very
dumb.
idealistic
Yeah.
and real high integrity kind of
Yeah.
a conversation. Yeah, he got
And
himself first sergeant or
Yeah, he-
first class sergeant. Yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
funny.
I don't know, paycheck. No, I'm just kidding.
I know Matt does come to my church every once in a while. His mom does
That's
too.
funny.
I
Yeah, I've seen
actually
him.
need to
I've
tell
seen
him
him a
listen to
few
this.
times.
So funny.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what he said exactly, but I remember when he said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy."
Yeah. This guy. Yeah.
He's actually
He's gonna pay
he's a
for that
great-
one.
He's a great guy though.
Yeah, he's a Christian dude,
Yeah.
neat guy. Okay,
That's
so
funny.
joyful things, man. Let's keep talking about that because I love joyful
Oh, I got
things.
new T-shirts. I got all new T-shirts. $10
nice.
T-shirts from Sam's
You like
Club and
eating
Amazon.
more now?
Yeah,
Larger-
because I've
larger
noticed
shirts?
I've been putting my shirts on and I'm like, they're getting tighter and tighter. And at the time I was like, that's cool, we'll just work out. But my belly's getting bigger and bigger, so it doesn't. I have to go get new shirts. But I've been doing a lot of cardio lately, so I'm trying
Good
to
for
get back
you.
into those shirts. I'm gonna keep them.
You keep the small stuff.
Keep-
You'll
yeah.
fit back into it someday.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
now I
everyone
have to
says.
move up to an extra
50
large.
years, 15 years later, they're like, I'm gonna wear this someday.
I've been fighting buying extra large shirts, but
Okay, but look, I like your new shirt and stuff, but it's so funny. Last week I went roller skating. I shared that with you guys. I can't turn my neck. I'm like still stiff. But it was a 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s night at the Crystal Palace skating on Thursday nights. 30 years and older. You have to show ID. You have to be 30 years old to go.
Okay.
Are you 30? You
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I know we've talked about this before, but you just
Do I look 30?
you look 22. So good job.
Yeah, to you
Keep that
guys,
up.
that's true. It's
I know.
true, yeah.
Okay.
Like, people
I
at
thought he-
22
I
are
thought
like,
he
you
was
look
like
like you're
35.
75.
But it cracks me up because don't we all do this? I still have clothes that I can't fit in because I'm not as good a shape as I used to be.
you
But
are
I'm
a shape though.
I'm a shape, but I want to get back into them, so I don't want to give up hope. That's why you're not getting rid of some of your shirts, because you're like, I can trim this back down. So I skated around a skating rink with tons of people who were still in that mindset. They were like, we're still in the 80s. I still got my gear. Some of them still fit in their stuff, and that's great. Some of them probably shouldn't have still fit in their stuff.
Yeah.
But the point is, forced themselves to.
They did invite us to that. And
they shoehorn their stomach into that.
So terrible.
I would have just stood on the sideline. But then my problem is why I gained so much weight is because I stressed for a while and I lost a lot of weight. And then I got news and everything's good. And I went over the top eating everything in sight and drinking everything in sight and gained a lot of weight. So my shirts stuck out in the belly area. Not good.
Yeah.
Well,
how much do you weigh? How much do you?
192.
Really?
Yeah.
I weigh like 215.
Yeah. How tall are you?
5'11".
You probably shouldn't be wearing that shirt either. Look at those love handles,
guys. Okay,
don't suck it in.
We got to get into some more. Oh yeah,
you definitely sucking that in.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you guys
don't pass out. Don't
all right.
pass
So
out.
I like this. I like this topic of conversation. If you're a guy, do you find yourself among other men and where it's almost naturally competitive? I always say a buck's got a buck. Right? You always picture in nature, the young bucks always got a buck. Let me kind of combine a few things. Like just now, see how quickly Seth had to like stand up and be like, bro, I'm not as bad as you think. That's normal. We all do that. But have you ever noticed, let me share this. Now, Seth, maybe you get this when you were an athlete or a pastor. I hate to go down like the cop thing because you weren't a cop yourself, but
no, he wasn't.
Couldn't have made that first inspection.
Painfully clear.
He couldn't have made that first inspection. No, dude, not to glorify any of that. But what I'm getting at is people find out, when they find out that either I'm a pastor, then they're going to have some kind of like story about a bad pastor or, I got in a big argument with this Christian guy or this pastor, right? There's something like that. Or they found out I was a cop. Inevitably, they have to start telling me either that I wrestled in high school or I got in a fight. They do something to almost like buck up to make sure that I know that they're tough. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not tough. I'm not going to try to act like I'm tough. But for some reason, the conversation immediately goes to like, I had to beat this guy up, or this guy, or this cop, or whatever. And it's like, dude, I'm not in a competition with you. Like, I don't even care. Do you ever experience that?
Yeah. I mean, I experience it every day. I look at.
I mean, as a pastor, you might. I know. I'm looking at Alan. For me,
were you talking to me or him?
Yeah.
Well, either of you. But I mean, for you as a cop,
I don't talk to many people, so I don't.
It feels like I get that all the time. Just recently, I got that. I got both in one shot.
Really?
I got both in one shot.
I'm a cop pastor.
As a pastor and as a cop. Yes, dude, both in one shot. Like, I got in a big argument with this, and also this. I wrestled in high school. It's like, what? It was super random, but I feel like I get that all the time.
No, I don't get it very often. People look at me and they're like, wow, you're a physical specimen.
So they just avoid.
Like,
those tight shirts you're wearing.
Yeah, they're like, wow, look at those.
Yeah. Look at those biceps.
Maybe it's because I'm smaller, so they just want to intimidate me right away.
You're like, you were a cop? Yo, I used to wrestle in high school.
Yeah, let's go. They're putting on their ear guards and their singlet. I'm like, I don't even know you, dude.
Yeah, I don't get that a lot. Yeah. The same thing. People are like, right.
Yeah, that might be true too. Like, you? I don't think so.
No, but the funny thing is I went to Cowabunga Bay the other day with my family.
Yeah.
And all these dads are walking around. I'm like, oh, that guy's like fat. What's he doing with that?
So you're walking around
in
judging
my mind,
people.
And I'm judging people in my mind. I'm like, man, I could beat him up. And like, I'm like, I'm not even ever gonna fight. I would never fight. Like I've never wrestled or anything. So, like I'm gonna go, hey, what's up, bro? So like those things pop in your head every once in a while.
It's
for
funny.
me, it's like it rarely ever happens. And then I find myself like, what the heck am I even talking about?
That.
Like, what am I thinking in my mind?
I think I do that too. I do that with cars. Like when people speed by me and they're like in a little Fiat, I'm like, look, I'll kick your butt. And then they come in a big lifted truck. I'm like, I better not say nothing. I don't even know who's in the truck.
No, right.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that lifted truck. They have probably guns that they would shoot me with.
Or they just punch me in the face and knock me out.
Yeah.
I just drive a Tacoma, so I think I fit my truck. Just a normal
it's a nice middle ground.
I always thought you were a Tacoma. I was like, whatever. I was like, man, that guy's a Tacoma.
Yeah. But I do that. Like I see people who drive. I'm like, that seems like the car that I drive.
That's a Prius. That guy's a Prius.
Yep. Who drives? I know somebody drives. Oh, a friend of mine drives a Prius. You wouldn't notice. You wouldn't know that though. He just does it for gas mileage though.
So he doesn't look like a Prius guy.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Cars do say a lot about a personality, I think.
Yeah. I think I love minivans, but would you think that I'm a minivan guy? Like you look at me like he's a minivan guy.
For sure.
I just think of Mormons in minivans.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a truck now. I don't have a minivan anymore.
Well,
Yeah, it's tough. It looks tough. You look like
Yeah,
you look like a Dodge guy.
Yeah.
we know you
Make it.
as that, but
Yeah.
I could see you as a minivan guy because you're so intentional and you're so into your little kids and the family, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
to me, that speaks.
I had a minivan in high school.
And a little wussy.
Did ya?
tank.
Yeah.
Was it
And I loved
lowered? Was it lowered with a booming system?
No. It was just normal minivan.
You
I was just
cry
like,
when
hey,
your
friends, let's
family
go to the church. Let's,
Well, he seemed like the type of guy that would cry when his family goes out of town for a couple of days.
Yeah, I do.
Driving his minivan.
I wrote my wife a song, and first time I performed it for her, I cried. I couldn't get through it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I
Can you
see
write?
that.
It's my wife's birthday.
I think
Can you
Seth
do you have a
is gonna
song for
punch me in
her?
the face one day.
He will.
Yeah, I won't.
He might.
If I did punch you in the face, my hands, I'd be like, ow, that hurts so bad. I can't
Start
believe
crying.
I did that.
Hey, well, you're
I gotta
such a
be
nice
careful.
guy. You would feel so bad. You would probably start crying after because you would have such guilt over
I'm
it.
like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
can't believe
like you
I
might
did
be the
that.
toughest guy ever, but you just are so guilty for hurting someone. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would definitely be me.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like that's what I think. I think, man, I'd beat that guy up. That guy's total. And I'm just like, I would never fight them.
Yeah.
Even if he attacked me, I'd be like, it's
Stop.
my fault. You know?
Sorry.
I'm sorry
My
I did
bad.
that to you. Yeah.
My bad. I did not mean for you to cut me off, get out, and punch me in the face. My bad. I'm sorry.
I think there comes a point when you get old enough where you're like, I don't care. I'm not fighting nobody. You can do whatever
John's
you
there.
want.
He's
man.
like, my neck hurts. I can't
I can't even turn it to the
after
right. I'm
roller
only
skating.
looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you guys. It's as if I'm being attentive. It has nothing to do with that. I can't turn my head to the right.
from roller skating 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, dude. It
Yeah,
sucks.
if someone punched him, he would probably explode. I don't know.
I don't know what
to him.
happened to it. It'll just fall apart. Yeah, for sure. It sucks.
I think if somebody punched me, they would get in big trouble because of elder abuse.
for sure.
Isn't there like a add-on after 50 if you punch them?
I think so.
I thought you were gonna say like they would be for surprise because they punched my stomach and be like, "Whoa, man!" I guess.
So mushy.
So I've been doing
Pillsbury
so much
Doughboy.
cardio lately, and I haven't been eating bad, terrible.
Okay, let me ask you something. We probably only going to talk a few more
I went
minutes.
to the Aviators game with John and his wife, and I tore up some nachos, and that's when I got home. I was
Y'all
like,
are
my
rich.
God, I cannot eat I cannot keep doing this. Is what I thought when I got home, because I was like, oh Lord.
Let me tell
you
you.
guys are rich. I cannot even afford a nachos. I'm like, I've got $7.
Well, split it with my wife, so it was,
So not only did we eat like that the other night at that game,
yeah.
last night I went to the draft house and I had a light beer. For our listeners, a nice little light beer, low alcohol, low calorie.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
But I had a bratwurst with grilled onions and mushrooms and all this, and a side of cheese curds with like dip and some chicken wings with ranch and stuff.
Then you
People are
went
like,
home?
"What's
But
your
you went
workout?"
roller skating,
And your what is it called? What's your workout schedule and your supplement schedule? I'm like, I have a light beer with chicken wings and brats and stuff once a week. Is that
People actually ask you that question What's
all
your
the
workout?
time? Look
Really?
at me, of course.
I just like that's a made up conversation that we have.
It's kind of. And I mean, obviously, you can see that's the whole point. Is I'm eating bratwurst and cheese curds about every
you
week.
look good. What's your
What's your secret?
schedule?
But I also think, like, I'll go to the gym and I'll do cardio for 40, 50 minutes, and then I'm like, I'll just eat what I want tonight. since
That's why I
did
do
that.
it. That's
You
why
know,
I do
that's
it.
funny though. That's what I did. That's what I did for a long time. Was I'd be like, all right, I'm going to McDonald's for every meal in college. I got to work out a bunch. So that
That's
I don't
why
get
I
too
work
fat.
out. I do work out a little. That's why.
I feel like at that age, though, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like, my son just goes to Roberto's every night at 1 a.m. I can wake up and there's Roberto's everywhere, and I'm like, he don't gain no weight.
I
He
miss
just
that.
goes to the gym the next day, and he's fine. I'm
I
like,
miss that.
Yeah.
It'll catch up to you, though.
Yeah. He'll
When
be
you're
wearing he'll be
fit.
wearing double extra large shirts when he's
He already
50,
wears
but
extra large, but he's just much bigger than me.
triple
Which is weird.
quad.
Like, you notice that kids today are much bigger than their parents.
Yeah, taller, stronger,
yeah.
smarter.
I think
I do.
because
I agree with you, actually.
My parents, my mom smoked and drank when she was pregnant
Mhm.
with me. I apologize, Mom. You probably didn't. I'm just making that up, but maybe
Yeah.
you did
Yeah.
because I did not grow as much as I felt I should.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel the
very
exact
thin,
same way
very
for some of the
malnourished.
exact same reasons.
She probably didn't. I don't know, I'm making that up, but I feel like in the 70s when she was pregnant with me, that's what they didn't have the prenatal.
They actually advised that.
yeah,
They're
right. They're like,
You-
it'll be fine.
that
He
is
won't-
no
He
joke.
will not be a smoker.
You know, that's no joke. My Mima, who died at almost 100 recently, she literally was prescribed by her doctor for anxiety to start smoking. That's why she started smoking as like a 20-year-old or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
and that's
crazy.
a true story.
Yeah.
Because of course, back in the 50s and stuff, obviously all these things were like, dude, just smoke it. It'll chill you out. You're fine. Start
Yeah.
smoking, whatever. Drinking, no big deal. And so that was the mentality. So it's actually, you're joking, but it's not a joke.
I am going to ask
No,
her.
no,
Actually, my mom does listen to the podcast, so call me and let me know if that's a fact.
Yes, I did
So
do
I was
that.
Hi,
joking
Alan's
about
mom.
that, but maybe
Yeah.
not.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen your mom in years, man. I used to
Yeah.
see her all the time when we were
My
working.
kids went out there a couple of weeks ago and visited
awesome.
her. Went to Michigan and visited her. and
I'm
they
actually
had a
there
great
right
time.
now.
When this
Oh,
comes
by
out.
the time this
Yeah.
one comes out. Okay, listen, we're
They
going to
went to
call this
Mackinac
episode
Island.
basically the most pointless episode of all, just us jabbering. Do you guys have any really advisable points to ponder on all of this? Birthdays, drinking
Yeah.
and smoking while you're pregnant, that's inadvisable nowadays. What else you got?
Gaining weight, losing
Well,
weight.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned I wanted to say this earlier was something I'm asking myself is every day is asking this question: what would Jesus be saying? What would Jesus say to me now? In terms of like today, like what would Jesus be
You need
speaking
to
to
go
me?
on a diet and stop wearing such tight shirts.
Okay, let me ask you: is this a
No.
sincere?
Yeah.
I got to clarify: is this a sincere thing, or are you trying to say, "How do I come up with a new WWJD bracelet"?
Oh.
Well, I think when it comes to sex,
Yeah.
though,
Is this a
he would
real
be
thing?
like,
What would
Job well done.
Jesus say to me today? So that'll be a really long bracelet.
Get
but,
real long, but
I
what's the
think-
reality of that?
But
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Seth, he would be like, "Good job, these two right here.
That's what Jesus would say to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job. Welcome.
Good job, but maybe separate ways from these other two guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Right?
like
Don't talk to
I
those
say,
guys no more.
not associate with immoral people. The guys next to you.
They claim to be Christians. One of them claims to be a pastor.
Yeah.
We should probably be careful.
Yeah, but for real, maybe God does want to say something to you guys. Stop drinking light beer and eating crazy. No,
Cheese
but
curds.
to be, but let's get back to the reality of this. Is I think oftentimes we can go into our days without really much thought about what God actually wants for us in that day, or what He would want us to do, or what He would want us to what reality He would want us to live in for that day. For instance, if for myself, sometimes you can be, feel guilty or feel like you're not doing enough, and what Jesus might want to say to me today is I love you, you're my son, and so I want to live in that reality as being a son of God. Or it might be sometimes I'm feeling more prideful in certain days, and God might, what would Jesus say to me there? I think he would say similar things that He would say to the Pharisees: is your whitewashed tomb right now. You be careful how you're interacting with people and where your heart is. And I'd be like, oh, you're right. I want to be more humble. And so, and it's the same way. Like if people are experiencing loss today, Jesus could be saying to them, I experienced betrayal, injustice, suffering, abuse. I have experienced everything that you are experiencing, and I'm with you in it. Maybe that's what Jesus wants to say to you today. But maybe in your job, what does Jesus want to say to you today in your job? How have you been working? What does Jesus want to say to you in your family? What does Jesus want to say to you within your own individual time? Have you been spending your time too much on social media or something like that? Maybe that's when Jesus is saying, hey, come spend time with me. So that's something that can help you bring more joy in your life if you stop focusing on what others want for you or pleasing them, and focus on what does God want for me. Because God wants, as we talked about before, He wants us to experience the wonders of His glory and His love for us, and we can do that in the midst of hard times and good times.
Yep.
I was waiting on you, Alan.
I got
Want you to-
nothing. I think you
Yep.
would be like, Psh, you got a lot of work to do, kid.
Well, what I like is this. We just did a whole episode, and I would call this. I would like to just title it "Pointless," but it wasn't totally pointless. Here's why. We started off talking about a birthday. Again, happy birthday, babe. Happy birthday, right? It's a landmark in a life. So you have ups, downs. Last week we talked about some pretty hard stuff that bad things do happen to good people, and but God is always working for the good of more people, and especially for believers, and helping us to grow through those things. Those are the negatives. That's the down. But then you get to experience these joyful things like a birthday, the funny things of life like gaining weight, and you know what I mean, like and trying to hold on to old shirts and going roller skating or whatever. And so what you're seeing, though, is that we still get to live life and navigate life. And then you're saying, like, okay, so the thought of almost having which you, by the way, can. That's what's so amazing. You have a constant conversation through prayer with Jesus. Yeah. So when you're saying that, like, what would Jesus say to me? The reality is that's how we can know what he says to us, because we get to study the Bible, read the Gospels, see how Jesus really interacts with people. He's always the example. And he really is always saying, look, I speak to you. I love you. Nothing's beyond redemption. I'm right here for you. Happy birthday, man. What an amazing, joyous day. Be joyful, but glorify God in it. Be sad, but recognize that it's all to God's glory and he has a plan and purpose. So I think it's in general, even though it kind of seems pointless, everything we talked about, the bottom line is there is a real God who really loves us, who really does want to interact with us and wants us to include him. I love your thought. What would Jesus say to me about all this stuff? That's a really long bracelet. If we're going to start.
We'll sell it on our Christian Man Unscripted website. Yeah.
But in both good and bad, what would Jesus say? What would Jesus say to me? That's something real. That is good to contemplate, because even in good and the bad, people forget Jesus when things are awesome.
Did I talk about last episode? I brought it up how I read Job and what I've been doing, right? Like I wake up in the morning and instead of going through a book in the Bible, I was going through Judges, but...
Thank you for listening today. Appreciate it.
Be blessed. We're done. Have a good one.
That's right. I'm sorry. I just wanted to razz you a little bit.
It made me so mad. No, but I decided to just open my Bible and wherever it is, and then to live that out. So sometimes it's hard because it's something weird like...
some Leviticus, crazy.
Like, but
like, don't boil a goat as much milk.
The very first one was I think it was in Ezekiel, where he's like, you got to love everybody and treat everybody with respect. I don't remember. I'm terrible at memories, so I try and do that every day. And like, it's like so hard to do that, man. It's really hard to walk that walk. We're not like this guy. I have a hard time because I too do what you do at Cowabunga Bay with your shirt off, thinking that what a jerk. This guy, I want to punch him. This guy, and as opposed to just being, oh man, this guy's a great guy. I have a hard time, and especially living in Las Vegas, because people drive like crazy, people act like crap. You go to Costco, you want to just punch everybody in the face. It's just hard living. So I'm trying to get better at that. So he'd be like, you got to work on things, man.
It goes exactly what Seth was saying, right? Where you say, okay, God, what would you say to me in this particular instance? And I love that thought, because you're doing what he's saying. You're reading the Bible every day and saying, how do I apply this to my life for today? Yeah. That's an interesting experiment, by the way, because you're exactly right. Some things are old covenant related, and so you'd have to really... I would caution you to... But I would caution you to say you definitely do that. I love that thought, but also balance it out with what is the new covenant of Christ and grace and mercy, and what is that? Where does that meet you? There's always a
I do that.
Yeah, how was this fulfilled through Christ?
You always have to keep that kind of a perspective as a Christian.
But it's I think that you guys bring up great points, is because, that kind of question, it's a practical way to have intimate communion with God. It's like, hey, what do you want to say to me through this book? Ezekiel, Job, what do you want to say to me through my job? I learned this about you today. What do you want to say to me in this?
Yeah, I love that thought.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I got nothing to add to that. I love that.
Yeah, me neither. It was all right, I guess.
All right. Happy birthday again, babe. See, I keep on doing it. It's your birthday. You say it's your birthday.
It's my birthday, too.
Be blessed. Happy birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Eric